In my previous video, I showed you how to add movie clip objects to an array using array methods. In this video, I'll show you how to remove movie clip objects from an array. I'll begin by showing you the pop method. I'll use my push method example as a place to start. I'll begin by changing the button label in the Scene 1 panel. Then I'll open my Actions panel. In my previous video, I started all my examples with empty arrays. In this video, I'll start my examples with an array of role-playing characters. Next, I'll rename the function popElement. The pop method removes the last element from an array and looks like this. In the event listener, I'll rename pushElement to popElement. I want my movie to begin with all the characters positioned on the stage. To do this, I'll copy my call to the placeCharacters function and paste it here. Then I'll test the movie. I'll click the green button to remove the last element, but nothing happens. Although the warlock has been removed from the characters array, he has not been removed from the stage. This is my solution. First, I'll remove all the movie clips from the stage. Next, I'll pop the last movie clip object off the array, and finally, I'll reload the remaining movie clips back onto the stage. In my Actions panel, I'll copy my placeCharacters function and paste it here. I'll rename it hideCharacters. I'll use the for loop to loop through each element in the characters array and set its visibility property to false. To make my characters visible again, I'll go to the placeCharacters function and set each element's visibility property back to true. Finally, I'll put a call to my hideCharacters function in my popElement function. I'll test the movie again. I'll click the green button. This time, ActionScript hides all the movie clip objects, pops the last character off the array, and then reloads the remaining movie clip objects onto the stage. The shift method removes the first element in an array. In this example, I'll show you how to make the wizard disappear using the shift method. I've added an orange button to the stage, which I've named BTN Orange. In my Actions panel, I'll copy my previous function and paste it here. I'll rename this function shiftElement. The shift method looks like this. In my event listener, I'll replace BTN Green with BTN Orange and replace popElement with shiftElement. Then I'll test the movie. I'll pop the last element off the array. Then I'll shift the array and remove the first element. In my previous video, I showed you how to use the splice method to add movie clip objects to an array. In this example, I'll show you how to use the splice method to remove movie clip objects from an array. I have added a blue button to the stage, which I've named BTN Blue. In my Actions panel, I'll copy my previous function and paste it here. I'll rename this function SpliceElements. As you remember, the splice method must have at least two arguments and looks like this. The first required argument sets the starting index, which I've set to 1. The second required argument sets the number of elements to be deleted, which I've set to 2. Finally, I'll replace BTN orange with BTN blue and replace shift element with splice elements. Then I'll test the movie. I'll pop the last element off the array. I'll shift the array down to remove the first element. Then I'll remove 2 more elements using the splice method. The array length property can be used either to get the length of an array or to set the length of an array. In this example, I'll show you how to remove elements from an array by setting the array length property. In my scene 1, I've added a red button to the stage, which I've named BTN Red. In my Actions panel, I'll copy my previous function and paste it here. I'll rename this function Truncate Elements. I'm going to remove all but the first 2 characters in my array. Length is the array property, equals is the assignment operator, and 2 will be the number of elements left in the array. In my event listener, I'll replace BTN blue with BTN red and replace splice elements with truncate elements. Then I'll test the movie. I'll click on the green button to pop the last element off the array. I'll click the orange button to shift the array down and remove the first element. Then I'll remove elements 1 and 2 by clicking on the blue button. And finally, I'll set the array length property to remove all but the first 2 elements. In my next video, I'll show you various methods that you can use to sort arrays. To learn more, visit my website at larrystimson.com.